So, okay, this is the topic. So, how everyone, thank you for coming. It's a long day. So, my name is Ophey. I'm based in London, but I'm originally from Hong Kong. So, I can speak Cantonese. So, if someone want to speak Cantonese, I can understand. And okay, so let me tell about myself a little bit. I am movement dance artist. I'm currently graduating in MFA in dance and embodied practice. I'm a researcher, choreographer, activist, and producer. I'm also a somatic practitioner recently during the Falcon crisis. I'm also doing the content improvisation, so you can see my work will involve some content impulse. I am also a co-founder during the traditional West African dance. We are focusing on the public engagement, so the connection with people. Okay, so I'm okay. The Para Gap is my thesis performance just showing in May. So the topic, the Para Gap, intersecting existency and connection in the Pluriverse. So this is a performance installation. The work explores the theme of resistance and decolonization through a branch of research, performance, and interdisciplinary arts. So you may wondering, what is the parallel gap? So the concept I developed is to explore how we form and reclaim our cultural identities, particularly when facing the socio-political challenges. So it examines the complex layers of the identity. I am using the anthropology lens to see the identities. I will explain later. So this is particularly related to the context of the decolonization and the cultural resilience. So this research navigates the gap through the space, time, and corporeal. So in terms of the corporeality, I grant my research in my identity construction. So let me talk about Hong Kong. So I think some of you may be familiar with Hong Kong, some of you maybe no. So Hong Kong has a complex history. So Hong Kong has been a British colony for 156 years. So before we returned to China in 1997. So this kind of colonial period has left a huge impact of the identity of Hong Kongers, especially including me. So this kind of thing is okay. So my work is influenced by the recent political events in Hong Kong. You may heard some of them, the umbrella movement, which is a big protest in 2016, and the another one, the mass political movement in 2019. So each make me reflect deeply on what it means be from Hong Kong. So this question, how my identity reconstructs, constructs, and redefine. So decolonization, post-colonization, and how I feel my identity. So this is the research development at the very, very beginning. So this make me, this kind of political movement question my identity as a Hong Kongers. So in this period, from 2016 to 2019, I experienced the loss of freedom of speech, the human rights, and also the home. I feel the home is destroyed. That's no longer a home. So you can imagine it's like losing part of yourself, part of your body, much like losing the mobility due to aging or illness. So in other words, the concept of the parallel gap is imagine that kind of thought about the political and the social global challenge. This is not only about me, it's also connected to the world. For example, the world's happening today and like Ukraine, Russia, Palestine, Taiwan. So this is a lot of global issue. So the parallel gap adjusts between the personal, the inner self, the body, mind, and the outside world, and how we beyond the border between each other, that kind of gap, under the socio-political context. And especially is how we influence this kind of thing to shape our sense of identity and belongings. So this is how I doing the research and how it make the parallel gap as a performative performance. So when we seeking that kind of sense of identity, we are also looking for the autonomy, how we truly listening ourselves, how we truly connect to the world, even in different time, space, bodies. Okay, so as I mentioned, that the political movement involve a strong concept of the identity. So I start to question the construction of identity for individuals. So you can see the gray yarn in the PowerPoint, the gray yarn, he is an anthropologist and said the hierarchy is distributed among the many elements making up the individual's identity varies according to the socio-historical context and individual circumstances. So I am doing the anthropology lens, how to create the performance. So let's have a warm-up question. Okay, so what home means to you? I want you all think about home. What's the meaning to you all? So no need to answer me right now. We will have a discussion after. So everything is happening in different time and space, in different gap. Do we truly listen to our hearts and the world? And what voice shall emerge from the depths of our being? And what role do we take on in carrying within the parallel gap? Can we attune to the whispers of our hearts and listen to the echoes of the world, connecting our existence within the parallel gap? A world citizens of each other. The statement in the PowerPoint you can see is right on my program notes in my performance. So you will see the performance will involve exhibition, interdisciplinary arts, some installation arts, and some collective action. So this have main keyword when you watch the video. I want you to think about home, identity, autonomy, and decolonization. Okay. So you will see how I investigate the subtleties of the embodiments within the theoporic communities and the transformative power of cultural exchange on individual and collective identities. That's why I use the world citizens. So every audience coming, I hope they immerse themselves as the world citizens. Okay, so let's watch the video. It will be 5 minutes. Just relax and watch. Okay. Okay. Let me share again. Screen. Can you see the that screen? Okay. Good.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I play now.
If you have to share the sound also in the
Can you
same
hear the
place.
sound?
I can't hear anything. In the same place that you share your screen.
Yes.
There's something that says share sound also.
Let me try again. Hmm. Okay, share sound. Okay. Let me know if you hear the sound. Okay, I play again.
All good.
Okay, this is a really short performance, just 5 minutes. Actually, it's 1 hour long. I cut it short because due to the time limit. Okay, so let me share screen again. Okay, can you see the PowerPoint? Cool.
Yes, all good.
Okay, so you can see the performance. I use various medium, and at the beginning is a exhibition, and there's some installation already setting, some printing. The painting is a collaborate with a Hong Kong artist. We're doing that kind of paragraph concept, and it involves a almost half-year embodiment, how we using visual arts, how we use our imagery to represent the embodiments through the decolonization, how we find the identity and resilience, that kind of paragraph. And then you can see the performance. It do a lot of content improvisation and some group them with some connection. That kind of string embody the resilience in the dance movement. This that kind of movement and emotional is the embodied journey for half year. We find each other. So the thing is not only by myself. It's kind of collective embodiment journey and how I make it as a performative performance. So this is also challenging, how I use my personal perspective and then connect to the others and how I can find the resonance with audience, how to engage. So because everyone is unique, the concept of the decolonization to everyone, I believe, is different. So how we can really connect myself, others, and to the world. So this is how my research looking for and how to make a performance and find a connection and make the audience really immerse in the performance process, from the exhibition to the live performance, and then we build up the collective installation. You can see at the end that there's a tower, and this is that kind of inspiration from the Hong Kong protest, how we do the collective action, how we building the collective identity. That's what I mentioned before in the beginning, how we really find the collective identity action to make the process, the decolonization process. Okay, so based on the philosophy, we are in the performance, the dancer, I always saying understanding is not just made of knowing, it is also a way of being. So you can see in the embodiment journey, we based on that kind of embodiment, how the dancer find their own identity and then how they use that kind of concept, we define, we construct their identity and build it in the performance. So what I mentioned, the identity in the anthropology lens. So I can explain more here now. It is about the political body, the emotional body, not only about the regional national identity, it can relate to the different thing, the linguistic body. So that kind of thing, we open and let them accept what is home mean to everyone, even for the dancer, for the audience. That's the question why I bring it. What home mean to you? This can be changing every day, the feeling, the sense of belong, it can be changed. As I mentioned, the Great Young, the anthropologist, the identity can be changed and varies based on our individual circuit system. It can be changing by the political environment, the society. So that's how I truly feel from the Hong Kong political changes make my identity construction. So that's why I'm questioning myself. So after watching the video, any thoughts feel free to share. So here's the question I would like you to think if you have, or if you have another question, I'm welcome. So what does the parallel gap mean to you? I didn't tell you that exactly what the parallel gap mean, but it can be have your own answer. It's an open question to the participant, to the audience. And the second question is, have you had experience with the identity and decolonization you would like to share after watching the short video? So what does home mean to you? This is really important question. So do you truly connect yourself through the autonomy, political body, cultural body? That's what I mentioned, this kind of identity construction. Different layer, how you connect yourself, truly tuning in, understanding. The way of understanding is the ways of being. Okay, so any resonates? Okay, you can share your thoughts. Do we have time? Okay, I stop here first.
Thank you, Ophey. Any questions or commentaries to her talk?
Yeah, I want to kind of, I guess, make a connection on this idea of losing home or your home changing in ways. So, like, as an American living in the UK myself and recognizing the shifts that are happening in my home country and that have happened since I have left, um, it's interesting. I often think about like the shifting identity of my nation and how that has changed because of the changes in legislation, the changes in the person who is like managing the country, and what all of that means or how that impacts my willingness to go back or desire to go back or feeling that it is a place for me to go back to, right? So I think that, you know, your situation is definitely a bit different than mine. But I do feel that I can like draw some connection back to that myself, being like, oh, I've been expatriated for almost 4 years now. And the country I'm from has changed in so many ways, right? So yeah, that's just kind of my draw of connection to you right now.
Yes, yes, it's true. So when you say about the connection within your home country, so in the anthropology lens, I will say how your immigrant's body, that's kind of embodied archive, that's kind of sense of emotion and feeling, is also find the resonance in the performance. Yeah, because I'm also immigrating to the UK. So I feel like that kind of sensation is also questioning, oh, what's my identity? I miss my home, but what home really mean to me? And this kind of thing, there's a lot of layer. So yeah, yeah, thank you. I also want to talk about the research and development at the beginning. I do the workshop in Hong Kong. So when I build the performance, I start the research in Hong Kong first, then I bring it in the London. So this is really interesting when I go back my home, my real hometown, but as another identities, because I'm already based in London now, then I go back. That's kind of changes is very emotion, how I embody myself in another perspective to see my home again, and how I connect the landscape and the people, and how I redefine my identity, how I see a home in a political way, in a social way. So this is interesting that I also do the research and development in Hong Kong. I want to share one last picture.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
And while you share it, I think one thing one important thing to say is when you ask what's home for you, I think home can be anything and everywhere, and you can have more than one.
Yeah, I think so. That's I can truly understand. So I feel like I want to share one of the artists. She similar that kind of thought. Everywhere can be home. Home can be can be have many place. And she said home is like a body. So that's kind of home. It just my body feel like home. So that's why you can see the performance, the dancer dancing like their home as a body. So I really like that kind of you're saying home can be anywhere and can be anything, not only the physical way. So you can see the picture in the PowerPoints. That's the research and development session I do in Hong Kong, just part of it. And you can find that after we doing the embodiment research, how we define the identity, how we uh do fight that kind of the power. You can see there are something really interesting painting. They are most of them, they have a circle and they have a spot. So we have found a lot of resonance in the research development process. And that's why I bring a lot of falling, circle, movement, contact, that kind of emotional in the performance and make it as a performance installation finally. Yes, that's the last thing I want to share. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, so that's what I want to share. Any thoughts, any question you can ask because the time is really limited and this kind of journey is really long. I cannot show them all. It's 1 hour performance.
Well, we are very excited to get to at least see part of it and share part of this moment with you, and at least have a little bit of discussion around it. We do have to unfortunately move on to our next speaker, but thank you so much for bringing us into this space. If you have a longer version of the video that you would like to share, that is also something that we can promote after the conference. Um, and yeah, it's been great getting to learn from you today. So just thank you so much for sharing with us your experiences and your work in this space.